Hello Year 3 and welcome to your first pre-recorded science lesson. So today we are going to start off a brand new topic in science, and tomorrow you'll be starting a brand new topic with Mrs. Rogers in history. Make sure you keep up to date with these videos every week, as it is super important you keep up to date about new topics, because we are starting new learning in history and science. And in history, it's my favorite topic. It's the Romans. I love the Romans so much. And in science, we will be looking at light. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen and the starter activity will pop up. So today we have an odd one out as our starter. I'd like you to look at the three pictures that are on the screen and have a think about which one you think is the odd one out. Make sure you think scientifically and you give me a reason why you think yours is the odd one out. So you can't just say, I think it's a candle. Because you need to give me more of a reason than that. So why do you think it's a candle? Use your scientific skills. Afterwards, I'd like to find an adult, find a sibling, find somebody else in your household and have a think, take it to them and say, which one of these do you think is the odd one out? And share your answer with them, and maybe you could have a bit of a debate with them about which one is the odd one out. So pause the video now. I'd like to have a go, think about which one you think is the odd one out, give me a reason, and then compare your answer with somebody else in your households. Okay, I'm going to assume we're ready and we've paused and we've played it again. Let's keep on going. So now it's a bit of a trick. In my class, you probably know that I've done this before, these odd one outs, because really it could have been any. What matters is the skill that you used to give me a reason. So for example, you might have said, I think it was the street lamp, because the street lamp is the only one which produces light using electricity. That could be a reason. You might say the sun, because it's the only one which isn't man-made. Or you might say the candle, because it's the only one which is mobile, meaning you can move it around. The street lamp and definitely the sun, you can't really move around very easily, can you? So for each of those, they could be the odd one out in one way. But how you described it, that's what we're looking for. Can you use your scientific skills to give me a reason for your answer? You might have noticed the similarity between them all. What's the similarity between them all? Have a think. 3, 2, 1. They all produce light. They're all light sources of light. The street lamp makes light, the sun produces light, and the candle produces light. Today, in our science lesson, we are going to be thinking about, let me move the PowerPoint onwards, what actually is light? And what is darkness? What's the difference? What is light and what is dark? That's what today is all about. And it's going to involve you going around your room, the room that you're in, and looking around the room and creating different levels of light, taking away light sources, adding light sources, thinking about the difference between light and dark. So let's start up. Today's question is, can you see in the dark? And that's what's going to lead our learning. Can you see in the dark? Have a think. Pause the video and have a think. Can you see in the dark? Well, no, because you can't see in the dark. Today we're going to think about it. If we could challenge that and think, what actually is darkness? Why? What does it mean for somewhere to be dark? And can you see when it's dark? Or can you never see when it's dark? That's what we're going to be thinking about now. So, look around the room you're in, and I'm going to do the same. I'm looking around, I'm looking around, looking around. What is producing light? And remember, anything that produces light is called a light source. So look around the room. What is producing light? Well, in the room I'm in, the light bulbs above me are producing light. The light coming in from outside through the blinds is producing light. Anything else producing light? I don't think so. So now, what I'd like to do is, now that you've looked at all those different light sources, pause the video in a moment and slowly take them away. So that might be shutting the curtains of the blinds to block out the sunlight. It might be turning off the lights. It might be covering up a lamp, anything like that. So anything that's producing light, try and cover it, block it, take it away, turn it off, and try and make it as dark as you can. I'm going to do the same now. So I'm going to take away some light sources too. So there go the lights. And I can't close the blinds anymore. I'm back. So I've turned off the lights. I can't close the blinds anymore. There's a little bit of light coming in. You might be able to see in the background. But I have to think now, is it dark? Has it become dark yet? Have a look around in the room at your room. Is it dark? Well, let's keep on moving through and let's see what we think. Also, for me, I just realized when it comes to light sources, there's another light source which is making me very, very visible in the top corner right now. What light source is left in this room, do you think, that's making me look so bright? Probably the same for you as well. Yeah, it's the screen, isn't it? It's the screen. So the screen's lighting me up. If I was to turn the screen off, let's try and do it. I'm in Mrs. Rogers' room. I can't find a button to turn off a light. Oh, there it goes. So you should still be able to see me, but it should be even darker now because I've taken away another light source. However, that still begs the question, Year 3. Is it dark? Well, let's start to answer that question now. And if you haven't already thought about it, and if you've got somebody nearby, now is probably a good time to pause and think, is the room you're in right now dark? Let's keep on going. And I'm going to go turn my light back on. There we go. So the lights are back on, and now we can see much more clearly. So, and think about what I just said there. Once the lights are on, I could see more clearly. So, in order for us to see, we need light. So when we can't see, and when there isn't any light, that means it is dark. That means there is darkness. As it says on the screen now, it says darkness is the absence of light. Absence meaning it's not there. Meaning darkness is where there is no light whatsoever. So earlier when you were changing your room and you were taking away those light sources, was it dark? Well, if you could see something, that means it wasn't completely dark. Because as it says there on the screen, light is what allows you to see. So it is only completely dark when you can't see anything. So when I say, what is darkness? You can answer that by saying, darkness is when there is no light at all and you cannot see anything. As it says now on the screen, you might still say the room is dark or it's getting darker. You might say, oh, it's getting dark outside. Or you might say, oh, this room's a bit dark. But it's not completely dark until you can't see at all. You can use the word dark to describe when there's less light in the room or outside. Now, I want you to have another go this time, and you might have turned your lights back on by now, you might have still had them off. What I'd like you to do is, in a moment, pause the video and try and make it completely dark, so there is no light whatsoever. Now, there might be another room in your house where it's easier to do this. So think, which room could I make it completely dark so you can't see anything? And if you can see anything, that means there's a little bit of light which is allowing you to see. So try and make it completely dark. I can't do it in here because of those blinds, but I bet I got pretty close when I turned off the screen. So pause the video now, look around your room or a different room. Can you make it completely dark? Pause the video. Okay, I'm going to assume by now you've carried on playing And we're ready to go. So here, there is a video for you to watch. I'd like you to watch this video after. The link is next to where I put the PowerPoint on the Teams page, okay? So give this video a watch. It'll help you understand the difference between light and dark a little bit more, in a little bit more detail. But just remembering that light is what allows us to see. Without light, we can't see. Darkness is the complete opposite. So when there's no light, that means it's completely dark. You might say if there's only a little bit of light, it's quite dark, but it's not completely dark. So just remember, darkness is the absence of light, where there is no light whatsoever, and light is what allows us to see. Now, I've said those words a lot. I am aware here, I keep saying light, dark, but it's so you guys can start to think about the difference between them. So once you watch that video, what I'd like you to do after watching the lesson is have a go at answering these 4 questions in your book. That means you write the date, you write the what, underline them, and then you can answer the questions. You don't need to write the questions in, you can just answer them. We've got question number 1. What is a light source? Can you give me 2 examples? So for example, I'm going to give you one that you can't use, a light bulb. So you need to give me a description of what is a light source and then give me 2 examples. Question number 2 is what is darkness? So what did I just say darkness is? How would you describe darkness? Complete darkness. What is that? Question number 3, what light sources were there in the room that you're in? So what was producing light around you? And question number 4, have a go at reducing the light in your room. Can you make it completely dark? Now, you don't need to have a go because you've just had a go on the video now. So all you need to do is answer that question. Could you make it completely dark when you had a go? Could you make it so you couldn't see anything in the entire room? So you couldn't even see a few centimeters in front of you, like a few centimeters. It was completely black. That means it was completely dark. So could you make it completely dark? Now, year 3, I know I've rambled a lot there, but it is an interesting topic, and this lesson will serve as the launch pad into our future lessons where we learn more about light. But we had to first of all think about what does light actually mean and what does dark actually mean, okay? And hopefully you've got a little bit of a better understanding. If you aren't sure on any of those questions, I've probably answered a lot of them, especially the first 2, in the video at some point, so you might want to watch back, okay? Have a lovely day, guys. Make sure you send in your work to me so I can see it. And I'm interested to see who could make their room completely dark with no light whatsoever. Right then, guys, good luck. If you have any questions, please do get in touch and we will leave it there. Bye, guys.